following light parted like waves and vanished. And then came cheers and applause. It wasn't a huge ovation by any means, but it was still applause and cheers for the performance that had just received such animosity and booing. I couldn't hear any booing anymore.
なんとか拍手もらえた。もっと拍手多くてもよくない？今のすっごく良かったのに。
This is plenty. My body was numb from all the pleasant exhaustion. We were tied together by our music, and with that music now gone, we would soon be separated once again. Right now, their cheers were just barely filling the gap left between our music with our music gone. But once those cheers fade away, I'm sure we'd be apart again. I couldn't tell that this feeling of unity was only a brief dream, but still, this moment would come again. So as long as we were on stage, then surely once again. Kanade was waiting for us when we got off the stage. I was sweating there at first, but I'm glad we managed to get them a little excited somehow.
そのことなんだけど、あれ、もしかしたら鮫島さんが。
I guess Kanade realized it too. Well, that doesn't matter anymore. All's well that ends well. At that moment, we heard loud cheers coming from the hall.
鮫島たちが出てきたぞ。
At Rimo-chan's call, we headed to the hall. Samejima-san and his band were standing by our stage, and so was Kaguya-san. The audience was really excited, so very different from when we were.
すごい人気。私たちより全然目立ってるし。
あの嬢ちゃんかな。
Kaguya-san was standing in the center of the stage. There was an allure to her figure. I bet the guests were here to see her. It sounded like most of the cheers were for her. Kaguya-san took the mic and stood before the audience in an imposing stance with her head held high.
あんたたち、さっきのは一体何なのよ。
Oh, she's pissed. Those were the first words to issue forth to her mouth. The audience fell silent. Bewilderment filled the air.
何あれ MC?
Who knows? Kaguya-san glared down at the audience like usual.
おい、何言ってんだよ
Shut up.
黙ってて。
Yes. After silencing Samejima-san, she gripped the mic once again and ran her eyes through everyone in the hall.
この中でさっき周りを煽ってた何人かのやつ、誰に頼まれたんだか知らないけど最低ね。頼んだやつもそれを受けたやつも最低。そんな連中に乗せられて一緒に騒いだやつも同罪。集団で人を攻撃するのがそんなに楽しい？そういう連中に限って一人じゃ何にもできないくせに。
I could tell that the guests were all shrinking back before her. The hall that had been wrapped in cheers was now wrapped in silence of a wake. And she was the one who made it that way.
喧嘩するなら一人でやりなさいよ。汚い言葉をぶつけるより自分の握りしめた拳を直接ぶつけたらどう？拳をぶつければ自分も傷つくけど、汚い言葉は相手を傷つけるだけ。自分が傷つく覚悟もないのに誰かを傷つけようとなんてするな。そんなのは卑怯者のすることじゃない。
All the guests listened to Kaguya-san in silence. Several people hung their heads down awkwardly. I'm sure they were the ones heckling us before. Kaguya-san's words were just like her gaze. They mercilessly lit up the dark corners of people and made them unable to stay calm. But that was because both her gaze and her words were light. The stronger the light, the more pronounced shadows become. It's not like the light fault. It's not the light's fault that shadows appear. After it does, or all it does is illuminate. Likewise, she was just there. Her presence was just too strong. I thought I could kind of tell why I was drawn to her. Kagui-san's gaze found us. She looked straight at us.
あんなことになってごめん。
She suddenly bowed to us on stage.
多分あんな風になるように手を回したのはうちのメンバーだと思う。だから私にも責任があるわ。
Kagui-san continued on her way. No one else spoke. Kagui-san bent her knees and sat there on the spot. She placed both hands on the stage. When I realized what she was about to do, I panicked. You don't have to go that far. I shouted before I could think, but by the time Kagui-san had already lowered her forehead to the stage, it was only for a few seconds. Then when Kagui-san raised her head, she stood up as if nothing had happened. She looked so noble. It was hard to believe she just prostrated herself. Sure, she was strict with others, but I'm sure she was just as strict with herself. Maybe the reason she seemed strict was because she demanded the same of others as she did of herself. Kagui-san looked over the guests in the hall once again.
じゃあ歌うね。
Then, composed and completely ignoring all that had just happened, she suddenly began to sing. Her voice carried away and suddenly swelled the entire hall into a roar from the frenzy.
土下座した後いきなりこれ憎たらしいったらやっぱりすごいねあの子。
だが正確に難ありだぜ。とんだじゃじゃがね。持て余すんじゃないか。
Anderson's voice sounded entertaining despite his slight remark.
正確に問題ありなのは権田も弥生も一緒じゃん。そういうリムルンだね。
And sure, she's the perfect vocalist for us.